She was a princess and is the patroness of firefighters. She is the first African saint. Today's trivia is about Saint Ephigenia. Here are 11 interesting facts about her. 11. Origin and birth. Saint Ephigenia, also known as Iphigenia, is venerated as a saint by the Catholic Church and is a historical figure who played a significant role in the spread of Christianity in Africa. She was born in the Kingdom of Nubia, an ancient civilization located in the region of Ethiopia, in northeastern Africa. Nubia was known for its cultural development and strong religious syncretism, blending pagan practices with ancient African traditions. The daughter of nobles, Ephigenia was raised as a princess, and her life seemed destined to follow the norms of nobility. However, her encounter with Christianity changed her path entirely. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so to not miss any trivia about the saints. 10. Conversion to Christianity. Saint Ephigenia found her way to Christianity after hearing the sermons of Saint Matthew, the apostle of Jesus sent to spread the faith in Africa. Saint Matthew arrived in Nubia, Ephigenia's kingdom, with the mission to bring the Christian message to a land where pagan traditions and practices, deeply rooted in the local culture, prevailed. This mission was not simple, as there was strong resistance to monotheism and the new ideas brought by Christianity among both the people and the nobility. Despite these challenges, Saint Matthew, guided by his faith, faced them with courage and perseverance. During his sermons, only one person from the court was profoundly transformed, Ephigenia. Enchanted by the message of peace, love, and salvation, she was particularly impressed by the concept of a single loving God who offered redemption and hope to all, regardless of their origin or status. Saint Matthew's message gave her a new outlook on life, leading her to renounce the paganism she had known since childhood and accept Jesus Christ as her Savior. Ephigenia's conversion was an act of courage and conviction, requiring great determination, as many in her family and court opposed this new faith. The princess was one of the first in her kingdom to convert to Christianity, becoming a pioneer who paved the way for the Christian faith to take root in such a diverse and culturally rich region as ancient Africa. Upon converting, Saint Ephigenia not only accepted a new faith but also committed to spreading it, taking on a leadership role alongside Saint Matthew, who guided and inspired her in this spiritual journey. 9. First African Saint. Saint Ephigenia is widely recognized as one of the first African saints, standing out as a pioneering and inspiring figure in the history of Christianity in Africa. Christian tradition links her conversion and leadership role to the introduction of Christianity to Ethiopia, one of the first countries in the world to adopt the new faith significantly and where the roots of Christianity remain deep to this day. The story of Saint Ephigenia highlights the beginning of the expansion of Jesus' message in a region known for its rich and varied traditions, making her an important symbol for the African people. Ethiopia is historically recognized as one of the first nations to embrace Christianity, with its connection to the faith dating back to the early centuries of the Common Era. Although Christianity spread gradually and with difficulty, the conversion of a princess like Ephigenia was a landmark step that encouraged others to accept the new faith. As a member of royalty and a future saint, she not only helped pave the way for the acceptance of Christianity among Ethiopians but also showed how the faith could intertwine meaningfully with African traditions. Saint Ephigenia is remembered as a pioneer not only in faith but also as a courageous woman who took an active role in spreading Christianity, something rare for women at the time. Her life of devotion and miracles inspired many and helped solidify Africa's role in the early days of Christianity. Even today, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the oldest Christian churches in the world, celebrates figures like Saint Ephigenia and preserves traditions that trace back to her period of evangelization. Leave your prayer request in the comments so that Saint Ephigenia may intercede for you before God. 8. The Bonfire Miracle. The miracle of the bonfire is one of the most remarkable episodes in the history of Saint Ephigenia and strengthened her reputation as the patroness against fires. After her conversion to Christianity, Ephigenia faced great opposition from pagan priests and some members of the court who saw her new faith as a threat to ancient traditions and local religious authority. When the priests convinced the king, her own father, that the gods would only be appeased with the sacrifice of the princess, Ephigenia was condemned to be burned alive in a bonfire, prepared in the shape of a throne to emphasize the sacred nature of the ritual. Taken to the site of her execution, Ephigenia remained firm in her faith, praying and surrendering her life into God's hands. It was then that, according to tradition, an extraordinary miracle occurred. An angel descended from heaven and removed her from the fire before the flames touched her, transporting her to a safe place. Instead of consuming her, the flames turned against her persecutors, and those present witnessed the divine power that protected her, further reinforcing the message of Saint Matthew and the new Christian faith. This miracle not only saved Ephigenia's life but also marked a turning point in the acceptance of Christianity among the people and the court. Her miraculous deliverance was seen as a sign of divine protection, and many began to view Ephigenia as a messenger of God. After the episode, she intensified her evangelistic work, inspiring many to embrace Christianity. For this miracle, Saint Ephigenia is still venerated today as the patroness against fires. She is often depicted holding a small house on fire, symbolizing the protection she offers to people against fire. This aspect of her story makes her invoked not only by those working in firefighting, such as firefighters, but also by people seeking protection from accidents involving fire. 7. The Burning House. The story of the burning house is another miracle attributed to Saint Ephigenia that reinforces her image as a protector against fires and a defender of the oppressed. After the death of her parents, Ephigenia lived a religious life with a group of devoted women, dedicating herself to prayer and service to God. However, her uncle Itaco, who sought power and opposed his niece's Christian lifestyle, wanted to force her to marry him, in an attempt to combine power and religiosity in the kingdom. When Ephigenia refused, as she considered herself consecrated to Christ, Itaco reacted with great rage and, in an act of vengeance, ordered the soldiers to set fire to the house where Ephigenia and her companions lived. However, another miracle occurred. As the flames engulfed the house, they caused no damage. Instead, the fire mysteriously extinguished itself, leaving the house intact, as if it were surrounded by an invisible protection. In a surprising turn of events, the flames turned against Itaco's palace, consuming it rapidly and reducing it to ruins, while he fled. This miracle served as a powerful sign of divine protection for Saint Ephigenia and her sisters, and the people interpreted the incident as a demonstration that God was on the side of the saint and supported her mission. The event was yet another proof of her holiness and helped convert even more people to Christianity, as well as ensuring her veneration as a protector of the home and against the danger of fires. 6. Founder of an army of virgins. After receiving a divine revelation, Saint Ephigenia founded a community of consecrated women, known as the Army of Virgins. This group was inspired by a vision in which God called her to serve in an even deeper way, gathering women who wished to live in complete dedication to the Christian faith. These women took vows of poverty, obedience, and chastity, seeking to live a life of prayer, humility, and service to others, away from the distractions and influences of the secular world. To accommodate this new community, Ephigenia built a convent with the help of her parents and other supporters, where the women could live and practice their faith in an environment of tranquility and devotion. This was an unprecedented and challenging step, as Christianity was still little known in the region. However, Ephigenia's determination and zeal motivated many women, who joined her in seeking a life of holiness and spiritual dedication. The Army of Virgins became a model religious community and inspired other women in Nubia and beyond to seek a life of spiritual service. The commitment of these women to chastity and service to God represented a revolutionary way of living faith, strengthening the Christian message and giving women an active and meaningful role in spreading Christianity. Under Ephigenia's leadership, this community exemplified the spirit of equality and sisterhood that Christianity promoted, as all were united in their vocation as servants of Christ, alongside the saint. 5. Protector of fires and firefighters. Saint Ephigenia is widely revered as the protector against fires and patroness of firefighters. This title comes from several miraculous episodes where, even in situations of great danger involving fire, Ephigenia was spared through divine intervention. This devotion to Saint Ephigenia as a guardian against fire spread over time, and in Brazil and other countries, she is invoked by firefighters and people working in firefighting, as well as being a highly sought intercessor for those seeking protection for their homes. Firefighters and safety professionals frequently ask for her protection and rely on her intercession to face dangers with courage and faith. Saint Ephigenia represents the faith that protects and transforms, and her story offers inspiration to all those facing difficulties, desiring divine protection and strength to continue. As the patroness of firefighters, she symbolizes courage and hope in the face of the dangers of fire, reinforcing the belief that faith can overcome even the greatest challenges. 4. Patroness of the home and homeownership. Saint Ephigenia is considered the patroness of the home and homeownership, and many devotees turn to her with requests for acquiring or protecting their living spaces. This devotion is linked to the miracles where she was saved from fires, making her a symbol of protection and security for homes. In her iconography, she is often depicted holding a house on fire, representing her intercession in cases of protection against fires, as well as the desire to keep the home safe and protected. In Brazil, where the dream of owning a home is an aspiration for many families, Saint Ephigenia has become a saint of great importance. Many people report having achieved the dream of homeownership after prayers, novenas, and masses dedicated to her. There are reports of received graces, where devotees claim to have secured financing, overcome financial difficulties, or protected their homes from imminent danger, all attributed to her intercession. Praying to her is seen as a way to ask not only for a physical space but for a blessed environment, where peace, security, and unity are present. For those facing the challenge of obtaining a home, Saint Ephigenia represents the hope of a stable home, a space of welcome and comfort. 3. Patroness of Black people and slaves in Brazil. Saint Ephigenia is especially venerated among Afro-Brazilians, being recognized as the patroness of Black people and protector of slaves. This devotion dates back to the colonial period when Africans brought to Brazil as slaves found in Saint Ephigenia a figure of deep spiritual connection and inspiration. As an African saint and associated with the introduction of Christianity in Ethiopia, Saint Ephigenia represented to these groups a figure of resistance and faith, someone who also faced challenges and persecutions for her beliefs, yet remained steadfast. 2. Miracle of Peace at Death. The miracle of peace at the death of Saint Ephigenia is one of the most touching and symbolic moments of her life, reflecting her holiness and her deep bond with God. According to tradition, at the moment of her death, which occurred in a context of serenity and acceptance, a sweet fragrance spread throughout the room, enveloping all those present in a sense of peace and profound spirituality. This fragrance, which many consider a sign of her purity and divine closeness, brought an atmosphere of praise to God, highlighting the holiness of Saint Ephigenia and the devotion she held for her faith until the very last moment of her life. This miracle is interpreted by the faithful as a confirmation of Ephigenia's sanctity, as she dedicated her life to serving God and spreading Christianity, facing numerous adversities and persecutions. The account of the miracle of peace at Saint Ephigenia's death reinforces her status as a saint and heavenly intercessor. She became a symbol of hope, especially for those facing difficult moments, such as the loss of loved ones or suffering. 1. Liturgical Day. Saint Ephigenia's liturgical feast day is celebrated on September 21st, along with the feast of Saint Matthew, the apostle who converted her to Christianity. The date is important both for the Church and for the devotees of Saint Ephigenia, who view her as a central figure in the evangelization of Ethiopia and as an exemplary saint of faith and courage in the face of adversity. And thus, we come to the end of another story full of curiosities. Don't forget to leave in the comments which saints' curiosities you would like to see here on the channel. Until the next story.